Welcome to the Local Business Show. Seth Green is a nationally recognized marketer who is the nation's foremost authority on growing local businesses through direct response marketing podcasts, and the only person to be nominated 3 times for the GKIC Dan Kennedy Marketer of the Year Award. Seth will be joined by a capable cohort of co-hosts who are each local business marketing experts in their own right. On the podcast, Seth and his co-hosts brings together small business owners and other local business authorities to share with you their inspiring stories of how they started their local business, how they serve their local business clients, how they grow their local business, and how you can too. And now, here's your host.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Richmond. I'm here with Umbrella Local for our podcast. Today, we're talking to Dr. Thomas Lucking in San Jose, Los Gatos, in California. He's got a fantastic practice, and we're really lucky to have some time from him to talk today about the clients that he helps and the community that he's part of in Los Gatos. So, Dr. Thomas, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Chris. Great to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Good. Well, I definitely appreciate your time today, and wanted to ask, I guess, to start off the podcast in talking a little bit about your history and your background, how you got into this business, and how you help people.
Sure. Yeah, I started out actually in working in technology. I worked for some big technology companies, and then over my career, I got really interested in human problems instead of computer problems. And I switched over to the world of psychology and mental health, and have been just really passionate about helping people improve their well-being.
Right. Okay. So obviously there's such a focus these days on a good mental well-being in light of all the stress that we've seen with COVID and everything going on. People need to look after themselves, look after their mental health. I think it's critical for all of us to be aware of the stresses that we see in our daily life. What kind of clients do you serve the most, and what kind of target folks might call you on a regular basis?
We have a specialty with autism, ADHD, what we call trauma-informed care, and addiction. So it's an interesting mixture, but we're Silicon Valley Therapy. We're located right here in the heart of the Bay Area, South Bay. And there's a cluster of autism here, according to a lot of research. There's certain parts of the country where autism tends to be more predominant, and this is definitely one of the places. And there's some real assets to being on the autism spectrum, but there are some challenges. And that is a big part of our focus, is to help people on the spectrum thrive in their life despite their challenges. A lot of their challenges revolve around relationships.
Certainly.
Specifically, we work with what's called neurodiverse couples. These are people with arguably different brain types based on certain diagnostic criteria. And we have certain tools that we've developed and theories. And that is really our number one specialty. We see ourselves as experts in neurodiversity, autism, and that can also include other things like ADHD, ADD. So those are areas we spend a lot of time with, and we love working with this population. Indeed.
And Asperger's and as well, I believe, is part of that group of personalities and types. So I think there's a lot of interest these days in talking about this spectrum. I think it has become, there isn't certainly the stigma that there was in the past about talking about this and helping out people. Employers, I think, are much more open now to neurodiverse employees and some of the benefits that they do bring. And you're right, there are benefits and some very special things that these people can bring to the workplace. And certainly, as you say, as a couple, there may be difficulties or things that they need to learn in dealing with each other and dealing with problems and coping together that you're able to help. So that's wonderful that you're able to help them like that. Very good. Now, you said there's perhaps a bit more of a group of people in that area. Is that a function, do you think, of geography, or is it just families have come together because they can help support each other in that type of community?
It has a lot to do with the economics.
Hmm.
Certain
Hmm.
types of jobs do better with people on the spectrum than others.
Hmm.
Certainly, technology jobs,
Hmm.
finance, healthcare, anywhere you mentioned Asperger's, which is high functioning autism,
Hmm.
anywhere where there's a lot of knowledge or information that people need to consume and process and work with. There tends to be a real affinity for folks on the spectrum. And certainly, Silicon Valley is a place where that is true.
Indeed, indeed, yes. Well, I've worked my entire career in IT and technology, having been an IT project manager for many, many years, working not only with software development and rollouts, but also in the marketing and CRM space. So yes, it certainly is a very specific type of job and career choice that a lot of people really do enjoy and get benefits from. So if you've got that personality that fits, then yeah, that's a great fit, and that's a wonderful place to be when you find something you enjoy doing. That's great. Now, you talked a little bit about addiction as well, and I know that's certainly something that many people struggle with. And I guess the question I would like to ask maybe is a bit more of a theoretical question, but is our ability to pay an attention a function of an addiction, I guess? We have so many things that distract us these days, or have the ability to take away our attention. Is that strengthened by addictive personalities, or is that something that maybe we can train our brains to not be so distracted?
Yeah, you're kind of talking about executive functioning, which shows up within ADHD or ADD diagnoses. And then, of
Hmm.
course, the addiction, which is a bit different, but
Hmm.
related, certainly. The ability to focus and being able to do what we call deep work is hard these days because there are so many distractions. While these digital tools are wonderful, they really are designed to grab our attention almost instantly. And we get these little squirts of dopamine that make it really exciting when those beeps go off. So it does need to be managed. It does need to be managed. And there is, I think, in the new international classification of diseases, there is what's called a internet addiction disorder, something along those lines. And this is a problem. People need to be able to make sure their technology tools are controlled by them, not the other way around. And this is an area, everything from the video games to just surfing the web or social media. They're wonderful tools, but they really need to be managed. We need to have a right relationship with these devices. And if not, over time, you actually, brain scans have shown you actually lose gray matter, which enables you to do that deep work and concentrate. And that gives you the fulfillment that happens when you spend some time on a project, and that's difficult, but you're able to accomplish it. So there is a relationship between being able to focus and addiction, and that's something we work with quite a bit. It can be challenging.
Indeed, yes. Your brain is a muscle that does need to be trained. It needs to be rewarded for the right things. And the like button on Facebook, yes, makes it very easy to respond to people and stay social and feel like you're interacting and contributing to your peer group. But yes, at the same time, yes, that addiction is preventing you from doing that deep focused work that I think, really people have always had a challenge with. There's always been distractions out there, and our brain is full of distractions unto itself. So it's very tough, but it does require training and focus. I love reading about this area, so it's very much an interest for me. So I think really bottom line, it helps us with our own performance and what we can achieve. And if you're distracted, you may not be able to achieve what you want in life. So I think it's important to invest into that. In terms of the community that you serve, Dr. Lucking, are there any particular community groups that you work with, or community organizations or charities that you might participate in with your practice?
We are part of what's called the California Association of Marriage and Family Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We also have other professional groups that we associate with. We have a sister organization, which is a nonprofit that really tries to work with veterans and people more with limited financial abilities to access mental health care. We have relationships with different churches in the area. So we do what we can to try to surface people who are in need of mental health care. We actually serve people around the world through our coaching efforts as well,
Oh, really?
especially in the world of neurodiversity. So part of it's in California, part of it's in other parts of the world. So we get folks from all over reaching out for help.
Fantastic.
And through various, like I said, community organizations like churches or professional organizations, we try to extend our reach.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow, that's great. You mentioned a nonprofit sister organization. Do you want to call them out? Perhaps share their URL so people can find them.
Yeah, therapyinmotion.care. Yeah, they're another organization that we work with to support, and we also train new therapists. That's a big area for us as well. So people who are getting licensure and that sort of thing, we help them achieve their goals while at the same time providing service to the community.
Interesting. So training new staff, well, that's a different approach. I think, certainly everyone needs a chance to learn on the job and observe and learn new best practices. Has that been a way of helping guide new therapists into your practice and helping grow the business?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Great.
I'm a professor. I teach at local universities. So I'm very committed to educating the next generation of therapists. And also, in addition to that, we welcome therapists who are starting out to join our organization. We train them, we give them supervision, and then we help them get the hours that they need for licensing.
Right. Very good. Well, that definitely helps the practice as a whole. You're helping train, like you say, on an educational basis, and then letting them actually get their hands-on skills. Is that something that someone could find more information on your website about if they wanted to apply?
Sure. Go to siliconvalleytherapy.co and click on the About, and under About it says Careers. So you just click on Careers, and there's a wonderful set of questions that we like to ask people, and feel free to, if people are interested or looking towards getting licensure or being a therapist, that's a great place to start.
Fantastic. Good. All right. Well, before we wrap up, maybe just one last question. Are there any other, community organizations or help organizations that would help people in the Bay Area and that you'd like to mention? It is a whole network of support that we have today, and in today's world, not any one person can solve all problems, but we're all part of a web to support each other. Is there anyone else that you'd like to mention and their websites?
Well, we work with an organization called Christian Counseling Centers, and they have a number of offices around the Bay Area, and they also do a lot of mental health work as also. So they might be an interesting resource as well for people.
Very good. And that's in the Bay Area. That's interesting because I do work with a Christian counseling group out of Los Angeles called Sync. Dr. Miller there at sync.org runs a very similar type of organization, I think, in Los Angeles and area. So definitely, perhaps you've heard of them or worked with them in the past, but definitely a mission that we can all get behind. So that's fantastic. Good.
Yes, we're all on a mission of service and make the community a better place to be.
Indeed. Well, we do that one relationship, one practice at a time. So thank you very much, Dr. Lucking. Really appreciate your time today. Again, my name is Chris Richmond from Umbrella Local. Thanking everyone for their time and listening and watching, and look forward to helping you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.